Fellow Rotarians and guests, some 20 odd years ago, District wrote to all the clubs, probably started in America, saying they thought it would be a good idea if the clubs had focus interviews, and particularly the incoming president should be focused at the beginning of his or her year, so that we know a bit more about him or her. And we could do it during the year as well if we had time. But today we're starting with our second lady president, Ronnie.
Hello, yes.
Okay, so you were born in Rustington in Sussex.
I certainly was, yeah.
And your mother felt after a time that she probably couldn't look after you any longer. She called you Margaret.
Yeah.
But she couldn't look after you forever, so she decided to have you adopted.
That's correct, yes.
And the people who adopted you, the Epsom people who adopted you,
yes,
they already had a daughter called Margaret.
They did, yes.
So you had to change.
They had to change my name.
Were you consulted?
No, I wasn't, but I'm very pleased that they did, because I like Veronica.
You do like
Yes.
Veronica. When did you become Ronnie?
That was when I went to school, much to my mother's disgust.
Really?
School friend phoned up and said, "Can I speak to Ronnie, please?" And my mother said, "Ronnie's not here, but Veronica is."
So you went to already a family. You had a sister, Margaret.
That's correct, yeah.
Stolen your name.
That's right, exactly, yeah.
You had a brother called Peter.
Correct, yes.
And you're still in touch with them.
Peter, I still see him quite regularly, go out with him, have lunches. Sadly, my sister passed away in 2014. She used to live with me, but yes, she passed away, and I inherited her dog.
So your new parents were Catholic.
Yes.
And they decided to send you to Catholic schools. So you went to a Catholic primary school and then a Catholic senior school in Leatherhead. Did you enjoy school?
I think I did, yes, from what I can remember. I made some really good friends. Sadly, I haven't got any friends left from school. My main friends are from when I was in the Scouts and Guides. But yeah, Our Lady Immaculate in Tolworth, that was a new school when I actually went to it. Any of you who know it, it was very good. And St Andrew's Convent in Leatherhead, which I have to say I cheated to get into because I didn't pass my 11 plus, but because my sister previously had passed her 11 plus and had gone to St Andrew's, they said, oh, as she's a sibling, she can come into St Andrews.
I think you did quite well at school because you then entered the world of finance, didn't you? You went to work for the Halifax Building Society. I
did, with dear George Furness, who passed away last year.
George Furness was a member of our club for many, many years, and he was the manager of the local Halifax.
Yes, he actually employed me. I went in and took the test that they used to give you in those days, and he was pleased to employ me there. And I started with him, in 1969. I came out of school, I wasn't university material. How I ended up in finance, I have no idea, because they forgot to put me in for the O-level and they forgot to put me in for the CSE maths. So I ended up by doing nothing as far as maths exams were concerned. But I made a flyer through finance.
Yeah, so we'll come back later. We'll talk later about the things you did in your spare time. But in finance, you went to Croydon as the assistant manager?
Yes, I started in '69 at Epsom. In 1981, they opened a new branch of the Halifax in Croydon Whitgift Centre, and I went over there to actually open that branch as assistant manager. My manager was called Dick Barton. I seemed to get the nickname Snowy for some reason, as I was his assistant. And we spent many years there building up the Whitgift Centre branch, but there were already 2 other offices in Croydon, so they decided that maybe it wasn't such a good idea to have one in the Whitgift Centre, so they decided to close us down, which we thought was, oh dear, what are we going to do now?
So you went to work for an American company in Kingston, is that right?
No, sorry Harry, in between that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, after they closed the Whitgift Centre branch down, I went to work in Jersey.
Oh, of course, yes. You spent some time in Jersey.
That's right. Yeah. I was seconded to Jersey for 6 months, and while I was over there, they were actually advertising for a branch manager to run the Jersey office, and I happened to be out there as an assistant manager at the time. There were 160 applicants throughout the Halifax for the Jersey manager job, and I got it. Okay. 3 years on a J category out in Jersey. Wonderful time, brilliant.
Well done, yes. And you came back from there to the firm in Kingston.
That's right, yes.
That was an American company.
It was, yes, a combined insurance company of America. I decided to go in there as a supervisor, but within sort of a year, 18 months of my arriving there, they decided that they wanted to set up a customer services department and put me in charge of setting this up, customer services manager, and again had great fun.
Good, well done.
Yes.
But eventually they were taken over.
They were then taken over by a larger insurance company, disbanded the Kingston office. All of us disappeared off various ways. I still have very good friends from Combined Insurance. I actually retired from there in 2009, December 2009.
They were told briefly about the church. You didn't continue as a Catholic, or not really very serious?
Not really, no. My brother is, and I do go to services with him, but I don't go every Sunday or Saturday like you're supposed to as a good Catholic.
Yeah. But a very important part of your life has been working with young people. Oh. You enjoy working with young people?
I do, yes. When I was 16, I left the Guides. And after about 6 months, I thought to myself, I don't like this, I've got nothing to do. So I went back to my old guide captain, who was Betty Sharp, married to John Sharp, who was also an old member here. Yeah. Yes, it's a small world, isn't it? And I said to my old guide captain, do you want some help? And she said, yes, please. So I then got assistant guider. Then she had to retire, so I took over the guide company. And then I did take a short break and went back into guides and did Ranger Guides and Venture Scouts, which was absolutely fantastic.
You became county?
I had this break because I went to Jersey, so I went out to Jersey, and our district commissioner at the time, Graham Hall, who a lot of you have met, actually got in touch with Jersey and said, this person is staying in the Royal Hotel in St Helier, go find her and make her do some scouting. Which they did, they contacted me there. So I ended up as Assistant Island Commissioner for Venture Scouts and Ranger Guide Leader for the Guides. So I had plenty to do while I was out in Jersey.
With all this busy life, you did find time to become a Mrs. Pigeon.
Oh, yes.
Do you want to say anything about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, what a name. You know, Don Pigeon, his name was. And, yeah, we had a few happy years together. But he went his own way, which was absolutely fine. And I have to say that I have travelled so much with Scouts and Guides. I have had so much fun with Scouts and Guides that I didn't miss being married at all, and that's why I'm still not married again to this day. Because
you obviously lead a very busy life, and well done. So when you become president now, but you did most of our presidential work last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
You were virtually our president last year.
Yeah, I did get thrown in at the deep end, I suppose, but I had very able assistance from people like Clive and Richard, you know, to help me through that. And it actually gave me a good insight into what needed to be, you know, done and what I need to do this year. So
you're looking forward to your year again?
I am, yes. And I'm looking forward to getting involved with the youngsters again, my young carers that we're going to be raising funds for. And the Riding for the Disabled, which we shall also raise funds for.
Good.
So
those are your
it's going to
charities
be,
for the
those are
coming
my
year.
charities.
Young
for
carers
this year.
and Riding for the
That's
Disabled.
right, yes,
Yes.
yeah. And I hope that everybody is going to have fun this year as well, in one way or another. You don't know what you've got with me as president. Well, some of you may have already realised, but I'm not one to sit back, I'm one to get up and go.
Shall we ask if there are any questions, or
Yeah, if you want to,
any
yeah.
questions for Ronnie, or have we covered everything in her life?
What one?
Yes,
Yeah.
possible. Colin.
Not a question, really, a comment. It's all come to me now why Ronnie was such a good stand-in president, and I'm sure is going to continue to be an absolutely wonderful president with that background. Fantastic.
She's had a lot of time in the chair. She's chaired committees in many
Yes,
places.
yeah.
She knows what she's doing as a
Where it
chair.
all comes from.
Absolutely, yes, yes. You've done well, Ronnie.
Yeah, well, I've kept busy, let's put it that way.
Yes, you have.
Yes, yeah.
Well, let us all wish you a very happy year, Ronnie. We hope everything goes well for you.
I have
hope you raise a lot of money and have a happy, good year.
I've certainly enjoyed it so far, and thank you everybody for your support that you're giving me. It's fantastic. Because being on my own, I haven't got anyone to talk to at home about things apart from the dog. Thank you.